originality and professionalism is on life support. In the course today, we have Dave the Barber presiding. It's time to take that after court.
Yeah. Dear Baltimore, I wanna talk to y'all. So I find myself writing this letter. I'm tired of us seeing us fighting each other when everyone else they be fighting together. They gave us the blueprint to get to the cheddar, but we just ignore them and think that we're better. And most of the fellas be hooked on that medicine, holding vendettas and busting berettas. And I can confess that I'm actually jealous when I see these other rappers getting paid when they don't even check with the B-move vernacular. We should get checked for us blessing the state. But how can we expect to be catching away? We can't even request for our records to play. Don't get no respect from that program director, cause we don't address them professionally. So we figure we do it the regular way and just take it straight to an executive face. They're making demands like we in command. That's why they be throwing our records away. We keep getting rejected consecutively cause our ego too big and our chest in the way. And I'm just a messenger sending my blessing. I'm hoping this letter would better your day. Come on, dear Baltimore, we wonder why now we try and fuck with our town. That's right. When we don't even be embracing our own sound. We keep trying to make what they've made. Like we gon' be taking their place. Like we gon' be making their cake. I say they're Baltimore. Come on. It's time for us to really start supporting our own. That's right. Make them respect the shit that we be doing at home. See strength come in numbers, and they ain't gon' fuck with none of us. Till we run them numbers up. They in Baltimore. I say it's time for us to start telling the truth to these artists. Cause dudes would be garbage and thinking they hard because your refusal to be brutally honest. If new news was audited like music was when we started it, you can truly get to see who the artist is. If he do what he do, let him prove he a part of this. And if he do, it's your duty to call it this. That's the beauty in all of this. You'll be reviewing the genre, these records are awesome. Not to be rude or dishonest, but simply doing the honors of protecting the culture. Redirecting the author, tell him to get up his bars and be less of a talker. Cause if he not a competitor, need to go get him a job in a regular office with a regular boss. Tell him get lost and just leave all the rap at the beat. Niggas ain't rappers, they should have been actors. They spelling off cat with a capital C. Tell him sit back in his seaters, just tell him go home and come back with some heaters. Just leave it alone if you left it to me. I would tell him to never get back on the beat. Dear Baltimore, we wonder why now we try and fuck with our town. That's right. When we don't even be embracing our own sound. We keep trying to make what they've made. Like we gon' be taking their place. Like we gon' be making their cake. I say they're Baltimore. Come on. It's time for us to really start supporting our own. That's right. Make them respect the shit that we be doing at home. See strength come in numbers, and they ain't gon' fuck with none of us till we run them numbers up. Let's go, Baltimore.
Welcome. Yo, we are doing a live broadcast. You know how I do. I just pop up, no thumbnail, no announcement. I'm trying to get it straight, but it's kind of hard to plan, you know. And besides, I feel like you should have something to say. Am I even broadcasting? This thing is strange because you can't see the pulsation on the screen, so I don't know if the mic is coming through. When you do the test, it does not give you the, again, it doesn't register the meter. I do not know why. So I got to go on in blind faith and hope that I am coming through. And if not, guess what? We can start and do it all over again. So hopefully, from what I can see on my viewer here, it's coming through. And Yolanda, Esmeralda Martinez, says that I am coming through loud and clear. She's the first one. She's always the first one. You can count on her. She is the ride or die. So today, open topic. Basically, it's just me babbling. And speaking of babbling, because it gives you something to do. We're doing these boring topics. It's not really anybody that we're talking about. We're not really going to have those receipts that aren't really receipts, but they're receipts, but they're not. And we don't do the narrative that is 5 years old. Aren't you tired of that? Get that bullshit out of here. Anyway, there are plenty of channels for that. But this is the Boring Brothers Network, and we have one sister. Hopefully she comes through tonight. Well, there's a couple of sisters in the Boring Network. I don't know if they know they're in it, but they're in it. And so here we are. We are boring. Most of the times you will find us in your chat. We're in there shaking it up and moving and grooving in your chat. And we generally will just do uploads. We do uploads. We're very crafty, artistic, highly skilled super motivated, boring ass people. And that's what we do. Matter of fact, that takes me to the first topic here I was thinking about, and I was sitting upstairs getting ready to come down here and click this live button to put you to sleep. I was sitting here thinking, how does one go live? Yo, you play all the music, you play about 4 songs, you want to get the people in the room because you don't want to talk to yourself. But technically, at the end of the day, you are talking to yourself. That, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm a little bit self-conscious with that because I'm like, are they listening? Are they hearing what I'm saying? Is this interesting at all? So I figured, I'd start out with the open topic so we can just kind of get things going. Yeah, so welcome, YM, and welcome, Make a Change. Yeah, make a change. You know, he drives one of those Brinks trucks, i.e., he drops off the money, the smaller bills. Get it? Make a change. Make change. That's what he does. Nothing to do with making changes. Anyway, that was corny as F, so we're going to keep it rolling. Anyway, hold on. Let me find myself. I always like to have my link already pre-programmed. And that's weird because I can't find it. Oh, strange. Oh, interesting. All right, we got the share screen, stop media, all this other stuff here. But the link, I don't know where it is. Interesting. Oh, there it is. Oh, nope, that's not it either. Okay, I'm just pushing buttons, y'all. That's how we getting down tonight. Eventually, I probably will come across it, and we will see what comes up. All right, but for now, we're going to keep it rolling. Yeah, man, going live. First of all, let me respect due to anyone that dares to step to the mic and go live because it is not as, it's right there in front of me, y'all, sorry. It's not as easy as it looks because one, you're talking to yourself. You remember, I'll give you an example. Y'all remember that movie with Will Smith and the dog and all the people died and the zombies or those people were running around? Do you have any idea how hard it is to be an actor and act by yourself? Like no one to play off, no one's answering you back. You got to draw emotion from absolute nothing, and you're being directed. So that is definitely hats off to anyone who has ever done a stage play show where they were, having to speak with themselves. But no, it's not easy. It's not easy. Now, we know why you go live. That's a whole nother story. Why? Hey, in BlackTube, it's a back and forth. Most people will go live because they want to speak on, a couple of reasons. You're going to speak about topics that have taken place, which we've all seen, and you just want to give your take on it. Or you want to respond to somebody that said something. Now, I thought about doing that today, but I find it not necessary. Although I may have been I was responded to. My name didn't get dropped, though. How unfair is that? I stay up, I get off work, and I spend a whole 45 minutes making a song and a video. Actually, it took a couple hours. But the concept I put together rather quickly. Anyway, and I don't even get my name dropped. Not a link. Not an honorable mention so that we can drive traffic to my struggling channel because it's all about the views. And I need some views. No, but seriously though, what's funny is that video got, damn near, let's look at it. It got almost as many views, just about the same number of views as the live did, but the live was 3 hours and the video was 3 minutes. Funny how that works. Quality over quantity, they say. And I tried to tell you about those narratives. But anyway, it's all a game. It's why we're here. It's why we do what we do. We come on for the back and forth. Now, there was something mentioned that I heard during the presentation. The section of it, you know me, I'm scrolling for the section where I come up. How many y'all do that? Y'all not going to sit there and listen to a 5-hour live. You're going to go to the part that's about what you want to hear. And it is true, y'all. We put out content. If we talk about certain things, we got 40 and 50 people supporting. If we talk about, something that was requested, you don't get as much of a following. My advice is the same on that. You got to keep drilling. You got to speak with your real voice, and you got to keep drilling down, doing what you want to do. And look at it like this. out of 883,421,671 YouTube channels, how many of them people you think share an interest that you do? A lot of them. So it's a matter of getting to the people, not necessarily being on BlackTube and trying to get the people that aren't interested in the real. They don't care about the real you, your dreams, goals, and aspirations. They want the effery. That's what they're here for. That's what they come for. And by the way, this isn't a lecture. Matter of fact, it's the antithesis of what a lecture would be. I'm going to sound completely unlike myself for the next 50 minutes. And why is that? Because you know why? I had a revelation, an epiphany. I heard a voice. An angel of the Lord spoke and said, have you ever considered shutting the hell up about that same bullshit that you always talking about? Again, that takes me back to point one. You're looking for people that hear your voice, that want to resonate with what you got to put down. Do that instead of spending the time talking to people that don't, criticizing, passing judgment, or even reviewing the people that don't want to hear that bullshit. You know what I mean? So you got to make up your mind why you're here. And I want to talk about that too at some point. Matter of fact, that takes me right into the next point. It's just amazing how it flows. Now I got 10 people listening. I need to get to the magic 11, the Ocean's 11. That's my lucky number. A boring chat will not have more than 15 people in it. You know, you got to keep them numbers low, keep it boring. We here to promote the narcolepsy. We want to put people to sleep. That's what the brothers and the sisters do. In the Boring Bros family, we put people to sleep. Now, on to the soapbox. I want to say this. Lecturing people on YouTube, BlackTube, is pointless. Now, you listen to my lives, you hear a lot of that. Why do you people do this? Oh my God, why is folks the reason why you this, the reason why? Let me explain. This is what I want to say to the folks that do that. And it's only a couple of you. I used to be one of them. I got out of that club. You know why? Because, well, I'll tell you why after I get more into the topic. So, coming on here to tell people what they should be doing, what they could be doing, how they should be moving, what they can't do, and all is virtually pointless. Let me tell you. We are all here. We're here for it. Now, how would it look if I tell you, well, you're 50 years old, you're 40 years old. This, you know my rhetoric. You got to do A, B, and C. Otherwise, why is you doing that? I'm sitting right here with you. I'm in these chats with you. So if what you're doing is wrong, why am I here with you? And that's the question that the self-righteous have to ask. Before you lecture these people about what they should be doing, ask yourself, why are you here? Why are you tuned in? Why do you know all the topics, right? And then after you tell people what they should be doing, you say, well, look at me, I'm doing this. Guess what? It's all ego. The ego wants to pass judgment to give itself a sense of superiority. And then on top of that, the ego turns around and brags and say, look at me, I'm doing better than you. I have material success. I got money. I got all these things. But yet, with all of that, we are all still here as professionals and well-trained and educated people. We're sitting here tuning into the effery. So let's get to the bottom of it. We're here because we want to be here. And it's okay for you to be here. Now, I will take and make a joke out of it. If you do an 18-hour live, I might clown about it. But that's humor. That's satire. See, let me explain. When I do what y'all would call roast, or I'm poking fun at, or whatever you call it, I'm not coming from a point of hatred, like you stung me and I'm in my feelings and I'm hateful right now and I'm burning, I'm boiling, I got to get you back. It's not like that. Now, mind you, those pendulums do swing around here. A lot of that. You got a lot of people hiding behind the troll shield, acting like they just trolling, but then they crying tears and they yelling and screaming. They waking up their family, screaming into this microphone. I can say what I gotta say in a 3-minute joint, drop it, and get the hell on. I'm not gonna sit on here for 4 hours. But the thing is, right? We have to. Oh man, hold on. I got the brother. He stopped through. to the top. We got Mr. Derek Cleophas Williams. He stopped through out of Greenville, Mississippi, and got this somewhere in Philly in the park. Probably within 10 to 15 feet, there's a 300-pound female or two. I'm gambling on it. Welcome, Derek C. Williams.
All right, yeah. Shout out and respect due to Dr. Bombay. It's been a minute. How you, sir?
Man, I'm good, man. I had to change my tune so you'll come back through, man. I see you showed up, man. If I knew you was coming, I would have baked the cake.
Respect due to Dr. Bombay. Team Gemini. May 26th was a good day, wasn't it?
It was a damn good day. Both our mamas had their ankles in the stirrups, pushing us into this world that we may bring forth the light and save you heathens. And here we are,
Yeah.
Gemini
Just real quick.
twins.
Yeah, just real quick. Just less than a minute of your time. Yeah, it's Sunday. We out here live in Philadelphia, just doing what we do. I got the champagne, and I got, well, I'm done now, but I got the over 8x80 cigar, the Asylum 13. Yeah. But you've been doing well, I assume, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. I'm holding it down.
Well, bless you, man. Yeah, that's all. Just drinking, smoking, taking in the vibes. A whole bunch of black people around me, nothing but love. The Philadelphia police is where you can't. Well, the Philadelphia police is over there, so it's very safe around here. You understand what I'm talking about? A whole bunch of shootings and murders for no reason in Philadelphia, but nonetheless, all the black people that are adults and act right, they congregate around chill.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. But that's all. I just wanted to pop in with you because I hadn't seen you in a minute. You missed your shout out from last week. I really don't upload because the stuff I talk about always get taken down for some reason. I can't imagine why. But at any rate, you missed your shout out from last week. I ain't forgot about you. I still be here on YouTube. It's very good for holding music. So I got a whole bunch of music in the phone thanks to their too. That's all.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come check that out, man. Yeah, I know. I know.
Where you do
Susan,
that?
rest her soul, is
Yeah,
still
fuck
reaching
that.
down from reaching up from hell to make sure you stay in line. So
Well, what can I tell you? Yeah, but anyway, I was just here. I saw that you was live, and I say, well, shit. Since I got the cigar and the champagne, and it's Sunday, I figured it was only right that I come and say hello to you. That's all.
yeah, I appreciate that, man. I thought about coming up there to go to Supreme Oasis and get me that chopped fish and the potato salad since they moved to Philly. But I'm gonna
But
get
what
up
I
there
want
though.
you, okay, copy. I'm coming. I will be live in Baltimore. Me and my daughter, we always go to the harbor once a year, so I'll be there live sometime in the middle of August. We're gonna be live at the Baltimore harbor. It's only right. I love the crab cake. I'm a crab cake fiend all of a sudden.
Well, I hear that.
Yeah. All right. Well, look. In the meantime, in between time, you take good care. Just thank you for letting me up on your platform. Less than
All right,
two
homie.
minutes of your time. I said a minute, but I went over.
I appreciate you coming through. You know, at the end, swing back by if you ain't out, if you ain't with them big girls. You know, swing back by.
Well, look, man, big girls, I don't know, for some reason, big girls, they make very good love. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Guilt is charged. I'm sorry. They just do. I'm sorry. Even in Philadelphia, they fuck good. I'm sorry. They make love good.
Yeah, I understand. I was just letting the crowd know what you're into. You know,
Yes.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Now I ain't judging. I ain't say nothing wrong. I just know what you
Everybody
got under
judges
your arm.
Dr. Bombay. No problem. No problem.
All
Everybody
right,
judges. All right.
all
Well, you
right, no
take good
doubt,
care in the
man.
meantime. All right.
All right, man. Well, you handle them twins. You tell them I said what's up, and
I'm gonna do my
enjoy them
best. Take care.
and enjoy them cheese grits in the morning. All right, peace.
Yes, sir. All right, peace.
So anyway, we back on the scene. It's weird how it plays the audio while you talking. That's Derek C. Williams out of Philadelphia. Philly in the house. You know, they always strong around these parts of Black Tube. Oh, I didn't scroll down. Welcome, Unadulterated Truth and Divine 7 from 7-Eleven, right? 24/7 in the house. Thank y'all. Anyway, like I was saying, man, I realized, I kept saying, what is my message? What is the message? So we come on and we stand in the middle of a crowd of people that we would call degenerates and then say, You guys are wrong for what you're doing. But then the question is, why are you there? Why are you in the crack house lecturing people about smoking crack? You sound crazy. You sound silly. You sound simple. Of course, passing judgment on these folks ain't never changed nobody. I'm here to say that. I would listen to my message. I'm looking at my uploads versus what I say on lives, and I'm like, it don't match up. Now, I don't want to come on here and I don't want to you make the content about what I do in songs. Those two different things. But I just wanted to clear the air on that and realize, I said, damn, you could just talk to people. You don't have to come on and you don't have to shame. And even if you, like me, I say, well, I don't mention names. I don't drop names. Doesn't make a difference. Preaching is preaching. People don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that. They want something real. Even if it's silly, they want something real, from your own mind, your own brain, your life experience. So going forward, that's what we're going to do. We got enough of that. So for the people that feel like you want to turn the mic on and say, ooh, look at me, I'm doing better than you, but yet you're here. And it's nothing. Once you turn the mic on to lecture these people on BlackTube, you're standing in the middle of them. If you are so righteous, then you should go out and take your ministry out into the world and work in your community, and then film that and show us, so then you could demonstrate to us how it should be done. So that's what I wanted to get. That was on my mind for a minute. I wanted to get that off my mind because I'm like, man, how is it I'm in every chat room looking at it, enjoying it to a degree, some more than others, but yet my message ain't kind of in alignment with that. Then why are you here? And that takes me to the point. Like, I listen to some of the content, and man, some of you people, it's like you're really offended. Like you're on here, you're hateful. You don't like anybody at all. Everything is about how you're gonna retaliate, how everybody's going to court, everybody's gonna get taken down a peg. So I have the question I want to ask all of us. It's everybody, whether you're the one with the case getting whatever, you're the one causing the problem or whatever. Why are we here? Seriously though, I mean honestly, are we really here saying, well, I'm on here, I'm innocent, I just come on to preach my good word and my good message, and all of these demonic forces are coming out against me and they're all attacking me and I'm the victim? And do you really believe that? Any one of us? Do we really believe that? We're here and we're innocent and somehow we're just getting attacked. But my question is, why would we come back here every day and stand in the middle of the cesspool to complain? And I will answer that. We come here because the complaining is part of our identity. That's why we're here. Because if we really are that big and bad, super intellectual, highly educated, corporate type business owner, money making, successful, super groovy, totally righteous marriage, and the kids is doing good and all that, then why the F are we here in the middle of this? Why? Well, let me answer. You know what? Y'all know me. I like to make myself the topic. Why am I here? Number one, I'm addicted to it. Yo, how many times a day you check to see if somebody's live? Be honest. It's an addiction. That's number one. Number two, I find some of it humorous and I like to laugh. Three, there's a sadistic side of me that likes to crash out. See, I'm being completely honest with you. I'm keeping it real. See, most topics will be people will speak on other people and they drop names and they say because they drop names and I don't, somehow they're superior to me. But I'm telling you, make yourself the topic. Make yourself the content. Let us look inside of you and see how you tick. That way we can draw from that example. Because if you say, hey, I'm falling down, rather than I never make a mistake, I think we will take a lot from that. So I'm telling you, it's the addiction, it's the entertainment, it's the sadistic side, it's something to do. You know what I mean? You're bored, so that's why I'm here. So you cannot be standing in the midst of the crack den lecturing crackheads about smoking crack while inhaling the crack secondhand smoke and being offended by it. If you don't like it, now people tell me, hey man, if this is the way things are, if you don't like it, you can whatever. Or the alternative is you can come on and speak your own message and stop responding. You ain't gotta be in the midst of it. But see, the thing is, we can't stand amongst the insane and interact with them on a daily basis and then somehow claim that we're sane. That's all I want to say. Just keep it real. Keep it real. This is a part of your identity. That's why sometimes we'll take a narrative 3, 4, 5 years ago and keep regurgitating it, because we have a need to be the victim. I got to constantly be the victim. I ain't the victim this week because nobody's done anything to me, so I got to go back 5 years and be a victim 5 years ago and keep dragging it. Here's my question. And by the way, I'm not telling you not to dig up the old narratives. Now, I said that on a couple posts in my little commandments. Anything over 30 days and 60 days, let it ride. The thing is, what do you want? Do you want an apology from those who attacked you? And will you accept the apology? Let me answer that. No, you don't want an apology. You want to stay in the middle. You want to stay in your victimhood. 2, if you got an apology, a sincere one, you wouldn't want that because that would end you being a victim. So it's a narrative. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go to your microphones and your channels, and I don't want you to talk about what people did to you. I want you to explain, why is it necessary for you to remain a victim? What do you hope to get out of it? How do you really feel about life? Let us in, y'all. Let us in. Anyway, it's starting to sound a little lecture-y around here, so we're going to keep it moving because I don't want people, I'm trying to steer away from, I made myself the example first, and then I'm saying, yo, now go, you get on the mic and you do it. Instead of hanging out in the middle of the bad side of town, you over the east side, all in the hood, sitting out there with your degrees, and you hanging out with a bunch of people that's like plotting crimes, doing crimes, selling theyself. Why are you in that neighborhood? That's the question. Now, if we can keep it real, let's keep it real. But you ain't gonna get that. And then for the people that'll say, I'm here for, it's entertainment, I'm trolling, no, you're not trolling. Nah, because if it was trolling, you wouldn't be reacting to things I put up with such anger, furious anger. You know what I mean? So let's keep it moving. That link's still there. Let me see. Divine say, you owe me an apology for your London twang, sir. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You know how many times that comes out of me when I'm doing a voiceover audition and they say, hey man, no accents. But when you give me a cartoon character to do, it automatically, especially when they're like a pompous, stuck-up person, it automatically it's going to come out as the received pronunciation English. And I just feel like, hey, I be in the zone. But yeah, I always thought it was cool. I always wanted to talk like that. I told y'all years ago when I used to watch the Bugaloos. Who remember? I'm showing my age here. Anybody in these early 70s people, late 60s, the Bugaloos, Hanna-Barbera? And they, the 3 teenagers, and they would, I think, what's the, Martha Ray played in that as, I forgot her character's name. And they was part of the lost British colony, and they walk around, man, I was walking around talking like that, like all the time. I used to try to mask. Anyway, enough of that, the olden days. Oh, Josephine with the collard greens is here. Josie, welcome. So check this out, right? So we're doing these boring lives. Speaking of Josephine, we're doing these boring lives, right? That's the alternative. It's the yin to the yang. So granted, most of what happens around here, you never heard the Bugaloos? Oh my God, you got to treat yourself. It's on YouTube. Anyway, this is the flip side of the coin. This is the serious side. Now I put a link up. I'm not opposed to anybody that want to talk about narratives that go on in BlackTube. The only thing I don't want to deal with on this side of things, I don't want the yelling and the screaming. I don't like that type of stuff. That's not necessary. We see enough of that. But if you want to mention a name or whatever and talk about it, even if you want to be a victim, go right ahead. I don't have no problem with it. It's you. It's what you want to do. So the boring side. Now the brother made a point this morning as I was scanning the live, looking to hear about myself. See, here's the thing, y'all. I'm not going to sit around here and tell you I don't listen to y'all content. I don't follow them shitty videos y'all put up. I don't be listening to that shit, but then turn around, I'm on my live. I know every single detail about everything you said, timestamps and everything. I keep it real. If I see you put up a live and I know I just made you a topic, I'm going to scan to find out. I want to hear what you said. And I think it would have been helpful, sir, if you would have dropped the name. That way your guests would have been able to, of course, they're going to ride with you. They're going to probably start. That's what people do when they get on panels. I'm agree with whatever the guests say. Shout out to all the people that give their guests pushback and don't just ride along. I would mention your names, but I don't want to put the spotlight on y'all. It's a few of you. I respect that when you get on the panel. A lot of you are females that do that. You'll sit there, your host will say something, you say, hey, I respectfully, I got to disagree. Y'all will push back on that. Y'all don't sit there and just ride because the main person is talking. So anyway, what happened was one of the statements that was made, we've heard a lot of times, hey, people don't listen to your content. They don't come through. If you're talking about that stuff, if you don't have my name in the title, or people say if you don't talk about me, nobody's going to tune in. Well, see, that's true. That's factual. If you talk about pure effery, you're going to have 40, 50 people. Shout out to all the people that share out my videos. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Even my little Cash App for the cup of coffee, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's true. But see, I already knew since the beginning of time, whenever I go live, it's always 12 people in the room listening, right? They the 12, they the ride or dies. They're here. It's what killed me was, and I laughed, when that beef sector merger started and a lot of the people started going that direction, some of them never came back. And I watched everybody here, all of your numbers started to go down, and you were sitting there with them Dr. Bombay numbers in your chat room, crying and throwing all outfits and attacking your guests because you're not getting support and the money dried up and such. It was hilarious. See, the thing is, I'm not dependent on like 40 people that's not even chatting. You know what I'm saying? I don't really need that. You know what I mean? But it is true. It's going to always be true. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, welcome. My twin, JJ, is here. We're the same person, y'all. I'm typing and I'm talking. I got that type of skill. So anyway, it's going to always be like that. I mean, come on. How many times y'all click on a live from a content creator that you like and they're sitting there talking about some recipes or something? You're just like, oh, my God. You might hang out for 30 seconds, say what's up, then you kind of like disappear out of the room. Of course. People not tuned. People like negativity. They like carnage. So this is the yin to the yang over here. We're the Boring Brothers Network. We're going to say Boring Familia because there's women in this too. And we're here to give you the alternative. Like, well, maybe there's no effery on today. Nobody's going live. Nobody's tuning in. Or maybe you just need to catch your breath on your way to work or home from work where you just want to hear something other than the norm. So here we are with that. We're boring. We're going to put you to sleep. So this is the alternative. And both things are necessary, the yin and the yang. Because if you didn't have the yin with the effery, how would you know what the other side is, or vice versa, right? Beautiful one. Welcome. Beautiful stop by. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, speaking of beautiful and other people, I used to be on that kick years ago. I was on never mind, skipping that. So anyway, sometimes, man, I put stuff up that's offensive, Now, people say, I always ask people, do you know where you are? In other words, if I'm going to put a song out or an upload, and it could be where in my heart and my mind, I really just want to make you laugh at yourself. And I want other people to laugh with you, hopefully. I don't mean to offend. Now, the last excerpt I did, I said, does somebody have this person's Cash App? Why? I feel like, well, damn, if I did two topics about you in 1 month, then I feel like I should donate to your cause. And I was dead serious. I really wanted to know, what is the Cash App of the individual? Now, the thing is, sometimes everybody's not laughing. I could put something up and it might be funny, and it might get a reaction where you could find yourself being offended by something that I said or something that I did. Let me say this. I'm dipping to the comments. I'm trying to multitask. Yes, we all do drama, but I think we are getting to know what else we have in common. For example, a little group in this sector like to discuss music. That is true. Excuse me. And YM, you asked a question yesterday. I'm going to address that. You asked me, how do I come up with the concepts? Can I do a video? It's weird. Matter of fact, I'll segue for a second on that. No, matter of fact, yeah, I'll segue. So, matter of fact, I'll finish my topic, which will take about 30 seconds, and then I'll segue. So, welcome, a brother of a certain age. He said he is talking about Photon, y'all. So I was talking about the Cash App. Yes, I was talking about Photon's Cash App. So if I offend, I could fix that. You know what I mean? And I do know where I am. I am on a small blue planet orbiting the habitable zone of a yellow dwarf main sequence star, right? And I'm in the fourth radial axis of a galaxy called Milky Way, more formerly known M15. I know where I am. And I do know that some of the stuff I said in the past is true. Some of us are here and we're very sensitive. Some of us are here and we have some mental things going and we're lashing out and we're tough on the microphone. But in real life, we really do have feelings. And sometimes it's, I almost spoke of myself in third person. If I ever do that, y'all slap me, please. But sometimes it can be brought to my attention that I created an offense. And I believe in making it right, not doubling down on it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's all about entertainment. It's all about making you laugh or whatever. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not about views and all that. The man spoke about, you're not getting any views, But it is... You people, though, y'all like that negative bullshit because a video that's like, when it's a person that's more hated on BlackTube, that shit will have 300 views in like 2 days. You people will put stuff on repeat. I don't go for that effect, but it's funny. I look at the numbers. I go, damn, this thing got 300 views. But this right here where I took like 18 hours to put this together. It's got 80 views. I'm like, they don't, but it's not because it's not negative. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling y'all, but the truth is the negativity sells. But here's the problem, y'all. When I asked myself a question a minute ago and I said, do I know where I am? Meaning, do I understand that there are some people here that are fragile? There are some people here that I can end up hurting their feelings. I say the same thing to you. Do you know where you are? Because see, when you on a live on the microphone, and you got this thing cranked up and you bringing on the same guests on the panel and you letting them go off and zap out on people and, all this stuff back and forth. And then you end up catching a stray because somebody said, well, why are you rocking with them on your panel? And me and you was cool. Next thing you know, they doxing you and you're putting your information out and such. Well, that's what happens. So that's why I said, do you know where you are? That's why some of y'all got so many lawsuits and crap going back and forth, because you're dealing with a certain element that cannot handle, or you're dealing in the effery, and then you want to cry foul when it falls your way. But see, the thing is, I always say, I had to look at my own channel, and I'll be completely cool with y'all. When I came into the sector, I was pretty quiet. Then I started making songs about people I never met, never talked to, never had any exchange with. Again, I told this story like 5 or 6 times. I thought it was just hip hop. I thought, we were going back and forth and everybody's going to have fun. I found out that's not the case. People did not like that at all. So that's why these days, I'll ask you permission before I do it. But even still, people can use... I've done that before, and people have used that for content, acting like I'm suddenly offended. I'm offended. Oh, my God. You spoke about my family. You talked about my mama. You said something about my kids. All that shit, and then y'all turn it into content. Again, do I know where I am? Yeah, I'm in a sector where people don't have a lot of shit to talk about, so they will take anything, even if it's harmless, and turn it into a narrative just to have content. So you'll say, I talked about your kids, when again, I never said no names, never said ages, never said their hair, texture, color, height, size, nothing. But these same people will put their kids on the microphone and exploit them for money or monetary gain, but somehow that's not offensive. I say I'm more offended by that than anything else. You know, you don't want people talking about your kids, but y'all will trot them out like some social media football and put them up here for monetary gain. Y'all can look into that. You know what I'm saying, right? So miss me with that. But I understand. I know where I am. I know that the two things don't line up. I know people who say they love their children and, oh my God, you said something about my kids is bullshit. These same people will use their kids for money. The reason why they're offended, because it gives them something to talk about. Oh, how dare you mention my daughter and her dysfunction? I'm so offended. Let me go to my channel for 2 hours, which happens to be profitable, by the way. So I understand. I understand how that works. I'm not gonna talk, and I'm not telling you you're wrong for that. I don't want to keep having to say that. I understand it now. Now that I understand how it works, I understand that you can take my name and create a narrative and create content and get money. Y'all know me. I'm promoting the cash around here. Get your money. I know I might have made songs about begging and shit, but get your money. Shit, if you're going to sit on here for 2-3 hours, get paid. I don't have no banner rolling. I don't get cash apps. I have the banner sometimes. I usually have it waving. I don't get paid because I don't deal in the bullshit. But if I did, trust me, if I wanted to, I know how to do it, and I would be good at it. But I can't do that. You know why? Because do I know where I'm at? And where I'm at, I live in a place online where you do that to people, you might get a couple $100 here and there, but at the same time, they at your job. And I'm sorry, these little bit of few pennies here is not worth a whole career. Not when you got multiple mortgages and this bullshit I got going on. It ain't worth it. So I gotta watch what I say and remember where I am. And I'm telling you, remember where you at too. You know, some of us, we say we're gonna take our channels in a new direction. We going somewhere else with the channel. How many times have we done that only to return right back to the bullshit? See, I'll tell you today, I say I'm going to take my channel in a new direction. See, I'm going to come on here. I'm doing all finance. I'm talking about economics. I want to empower my community with the tools they need to be more financially successful. And that's what I'm doing from now. I'm sticking to my guns. And I might have 10 or 11 views on a few videos. And then the minute somebody says something about me from some past narrative or something like, oh, shit, here we go. And they're off. I'm right back into the bullshit again. Remember what I told y'all? My issue was we are addicted. It's not entertainment. We're addicted to this shit. You know what I mean? So that's why we do what we do. Who said this? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, QT1, welcome. See, it's fun. She says that part. I don't know. I got to read all this back. Josephine said, I don't have kids anymore. Man, lucky you. I got one left at home. Slander, welcome, nephew. He came through to support. I appreciate that. I just read that. I get it. Oh, it's cool. Yo, y'all know I'm terrible with this. Slander, we need a DC sector history, please, and thank you. DC? Like Washington? Or, defrauding charlatans? Oh, I don't know. Y'all got to explain it. Y'all know I was on that bus going to school. I was just saying the same thing. If you invoke people you love and respect in the spirit of hurting somebody else, you are the person disrespecting them. We don't even know them. Wow. You have a lot of deep insights. I'll be up in the middle of the night. I will be taking all of Bombay's Cash App, send them $2 to me. It's not even $2. He's talking about the route. No. God, no. When I've seen this several times. I haven't personally done it. I did it, but it was different. I did it where I just simply I took down certain content. I didn't announce it. See, mine I didn't announce it, and all of a sudden next thing you know I'm right back. So I'm saying we all do that. because things happen. We have an epiphany, And y'all know my brother Darrell. When I talked about him, I made the song "Pump Fake Darrell," so that was my jab at him for doing that. And right after I made the song, Darrell was like, "All right, y'all, I'm about to dip to the left." And he was gone. The song wasn't even in rotation. Darrell was gone again. But it's funny because he laughed at it, and it was supposed to be funny because he and other people have said that. We've said that we've changed. Me, I didn't announce it, but I changed my subject matter. I tried, and it's just like, yo, you are where you are. People want to hear what they want to hear. So it's either A, you can take your little message and y'all can go to another section of YouTube with it and just try to, like I said earlier on, try to make something out yourself and finding your audience, or you can hang around here and kind of, dib and dab in the effery a little bit or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking my chat in a new direction. No doubt. We all need to, you know what's funny about that? Okay, I'm mad I couldn't get Step to say chicken 3 times. Is not necessarily, I don't think we need to take the whole channels in a new direction. Either A, have multiple channels with different themes, or B, just balance out your message sometime. Like take a Sunday and come on here and be boring as hell. Y'all can join the boring familiar anytime and come on here and learn how to put people to sleep. JJ be up in the middle of the night, man, his breakdowns are phenomenal. You know what I mean? So it's really good stuff. Conscious Indy had pretty good discipline, but he definitely stays focused on other non-sector topics. Really? I gotta catch his show. Does he go live a lot? All right, no doubt. So, defraud. Okay, so DC, got it. I'm sorry, y'all. This scroll is like moving down. Anyway, I guess I need to focus on what I was doing. So anyway, I did say, if you offended, let me know. I can make it right. I don't want you up at night. I don't want you enraged because I did something, Now I know the last little upload was kind of like, yo, I started messing with some of the tools I had. And I was like, oh, I can impose visuals. I can control. I can get a little deeper with this program. And there it was. I wish I'd have known that from the beginning. I'm planning some other stuff, some fun-loving, inspirational. Welcome, Mikey. So I'm planning on doing some stuff, utilizing the tools. And hey, I tell you what though, it is a lot easier with using the AI tools. And y'all know me, I'm not a big fan of AI at all. When it comes to music creation, I don't like it. I don't like it at all because it's bad enough music has no soul as it is. The AI kind of takes all the creativity out of the hands. But however, the video tools is a lifesaver. Do y'all have any idea what it was like running around finding blocks and stock footage and trying to find things that match up to tell the story? Yo, that was the biggest part of the production. That would kill me. I'd be 2 hours. Sometimes I'd be looking for one little blip and I'd be sitting there like scanning all kinds of sources for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, slowing me down. So I literally, the last presentation I did, I forgot when I posted it, but I literally got off of work. And this takes me to YM's question when she says, how do you decide? How do you do things? What is your method? Like, how do you come up with what voices to use? Well, in this particular one, what I normally do, YM, I will get the original lyrics of a song and I'll put it on like a Word, upload it into Word. And then I go for each part of the song. Because if it's a parody, then it has to line up to the song. And it makes it a lot easier. So I will go, like, say, for instance, first verse. And right above it, I'll look at the verse. I'll count the bars out, know how many bars it is. And I'll just change the verse. And I'll try to keep the same rhyme scheme. Like in the last song, when you heard it say something like, it was like, when I eat, you on alive, when I sleep, you on alive, when I be. So when I was looking at that one run where the guy did, it was like 8 bars, I said, what rhymes with eat? And I was like, eat, sleep, deep. So I'll say, well, some of the rhyming words don't make sense. The ones that do, that would be verbs denoting action, I just simply think of 4 of them and then I just build the sentence around it. Next thing you know, I got the verse, and then I'll delete what's on the screen and move to the next part, and I'll label it verse 1. Now the old verse 1 becomes my verse, and then I'll move on to the next part, like the pre-chorus. And then I'll say, well, what characteristic about this person that I want to say in this part? Say, for instance, it's the fact that I don't know, they're still on the street selling DVDs, right, in this day and time. So then I have to come up with what I want to say, look at the rhyme scheme of the original, and try to keep it along. If I can't come up with the same rhyme scheme, then I'll just choose a different word and just interpose that. So a lot of it is basically like seeing concepts in your mind. It's kind of a hard process to explain. Like a lot of times the whole concept of the song is in my mind already. And when I sit down, it's like an explosive dream of sorts. It's like, I got to get this out, and then it'll come to life. Matter of fact, the song didn't exist while I was working. When I got off, I was like, yo, I really like this tune, and I wanted to learn the acapella of it, because I said, does it have any harmonies in it? And so when I got off, I was like, begging. I said, who's that sound like? And then it just came to life. Right from there, I just basically took the original lyrics, wrote each section of the song, and then when I recorded it, the tricky part is the arrangement. Like, if I could show you me recording it, like I did the leads, and then it was like, okay, I got to go in and fill in with the rap part, and I got to do the harmonies, and I just, I don't know. It's strange, but yeah, it's hard to explain. But that's pretty much how I do. I just basically write it and replace the lyrics as I go down the sheet. You know what I'm saying? I that's how I do it. I just, whatever. And usually it works out. Maybe one time when I do it, I'll actually record me doing it, which will be a very long video. Well, actually, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just record me and I'll talk out loud what I'm thinking, and that way you can kind of get an idea. So the biggest part is finding a song that fits. And then hopefully it's something with harmonies where it'll be, close to the original, kind of like Weird Al Yankovic. Anyway, check this out. So, man, we talk about the addiction. We here, and again, I understand, I get it. I'm here with you. No doubt. It is an addiction. Matter of fact, social media, period, is an addiction. Okay, what you say? You start with the concept, the end, you use the original lyrics as a template. Exactly. The trickiest part is the arrangement, because then it's like you hear a whole song, but then when you start to look at it, you got to dissect it in your mind. Like you thinking on one track, it's like, I'm going to say this, and when I get to begging, I got to stop. He doesn't say that. The harmony says this. And then I got to go back around. It's the arrangement is the hardest part. So anyway, yeah, I understand, why we're here, But social media, man, I'm going to tell you something, bruh. I've been working on that, putting this phone down. That thing, that phone is always in my hand. I'm like, what is it? When you look at it, the brain is releasing endorphins. It's pleasurable. And I got to wean myself off of that. Like, I'm at work, it's in the drawer. You like peeking at everybody. It's against the policy of us to have phones. Everybody got their phone in their hand. Like, it's something about, like, you just got to keep looking at this thing. And when I said, sometimes you got to ask yourself the questions when you're alone, like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Instead of me coming here telling you you're wrong for doing it, I'm doing it too, so I can't tell you wrong. But on that part of this series here, I just wanted to speak to the lecturers, because I was one of them. With all the ongoing lecture about what y'all should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, shit. You're sitting right here. We all doing it. You know what I mean? Because for real, if you was really doing shit in the real world, you wouldn't be here to see this. And it wouldn't matter. You'd be out in the world doing shit. So when people kept telling me, do the content that you want to see, I say to the people that's lecturing, go out in the world, do the work in the world that you want to see. Instead of coming around the degenerates, quote unquote, and trying to lecture them like you some kind of fake ass missionary over in the underdeveloped third world country trying to save souls or something. We need to get out. We need to get out of that. Yeah, I put that link up there. He say he cuter than you, bro. Dang. You know what? I always say that like I wasn't gonna respond because it just builds more content. But truth of the matter is, I mean, shit, my name ring out two, 3 times in every live, whether I said something or did something. The mere fact that I showed creativity is offensive to people, namely the brother. You know, I don't mean no harm. I don't mean like I'm really like, bro, I'm really trying to destroy you and hurt your feelings and shit. It's not about that. But I feel like this, for whatever reason, over the years that you have said my name and said, oh, he's telling you what key the song in. I want to hear that bullshit. And you up there with and remixes laughing at you, dogging the shit out of me, screaming at the top of your lungs. Is that trolling? That's not trolling. You're angry. You're mad. You know what I'm saying? I was not out here saying your name or other people's names per se. So for you to do that for years and years and years, I thought about it. I said, well, if I say this about this person, I'm going to feel bad. Nah, I don't feel bad. The shit was funny. It makes me laugh. It made people laugh. People got a kick out of it. It was effing hilarious. Matter of fact, maybe we should just play it on the way out when I'm leaving. But it is what it is. And I say, JJ made a point. Chat Lives Matter made a point. He said, yo, this is how you respond with it intelligently. And that's what I'm saying. I'm telling people, step your game up. Yo, we can all go on a live and talk shit. Some of y'all are chief roasters. Some of y'all, are hilarious when it comes to, like, think about it. Look at the people who have the shorter lives and look at how when they roast, this shit be off the meters when they're doing it, right? Because they're good at it. They don't need 4 hours. Matter of fact, I'll say this. And I'm sorry, I didn't want to say her name because I don't like putting the spotlight on people. Like, if you look at a Carrie live, right, it's mostly her. It's not. She doesn't have a panel dependent show, and you're gonna get the lecture. You're gonna get the raw message. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. She don't turn the mic on and be like, all right, let me get the same 5 people and let them go at it for 6 hours. Nah, she don't do that. But I told y'all it's quality over quantity. So if you got a strong message, you could put the message out. You don't need all of that other stuff. So what some people might take 6 hours in a live to do, she can do in 1 hour. What I can do on a 3-minute song. We all have our levels and our ways of approach, So that's what I wanted to say about that. But anyway, to the comment, Bombay, I noticed that people who do dance covers do that too. They pick and choose movements that they work for. Oh, wow. Into a shorter piece that makes a good YouTube short. Oh, that's why they be doing all those. When I see those little challenges, I be saying, Pete, oh, welcome. Speaking of Chief Roaster, Pillsbury. Again, Pillsbury got a couple of gears, right? Pillsbury got the love daddy gear. He talks to the ladies and they respond, right? And then he will take a punch, and then he'll take another punch, and then he'll take 3. And then on that 4th blow, he unleashes with some of the funny shit that I've ever heard in the roast rant. Yo, that's what I'm talking about. He don't need nobody to get his back. He said, oh, yo, I got this. And then it's on. And it's funny. And then 2 days later, he could be cool with you. That's what it's all about. He's not walking around with it on his shoulder like, oh, my God, he's sitting at work making a hollandaise sauce and going, this motherfucker, I can't wait till I get off. This bitch, she done pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that vibe from him, So, yeah, y'all, we on this boring tip here. Keep speaking the truth. See, the thing is, I start to look at things objectively. Like when I look at it, instead of coming in filtering through an emotional lens, I start to look at it. Even the people that say things about me. Let me tell y'all something real quick since we're here. Now, there's been times where people have said stuff about me and I responded. Whether it was a song, whether it was the old, I'm going to talk about the topic but not say your name type deal. And I had to ask myself the question, I'm going back to point number 1, lecturing people is pointless. Back to, what do I think I'm possibly going to say in this microphone that's going to change the person's opinion of me? Nothing. I look more so at it, why did this person say this about me? Well, because I jabbed at them in the past. Well, why are they holding on to it? Shouldn't they just let it go? No, they shouldn't, because they're not me. So I take it the way it comes. So if they If they want to keep dragging it out, then I let them drag it out. Again, how can you preach that this doesn't matter, this is only YouTube, but then find yourself triggered by every little thing that happens? And also, if you are all wise, right, and exact, and you know everything, then shouldn't you understand the inner workings of the people here? If you can come on and lecture and dissect it and break it down, how is it that you know so much, but you're still a victim of the same mechanism? So I had to start asking myself this question, like, why are you responding? Why are you upset? So when I scan your live to hear the part where you talk about me, I just want to hear it. I'm not, now, unlike some of you, I'm not looking, oh, I got to find this so I can get offended and I can come back and I'll have an answer. Guess what? It's nothing wrong with that either. But damn, yo, which one is it? Sounds like you're on both sides of the coin. The yin can exist with the yang. They can be in total opposites. Two truths can occupy the same space at the same time. At the end of the day, it's the prerogative of the person. If they want to go on, if they want to hate watch, then they're going to hate watch. It's what they're doing. It's a part of BlackTube. Again, you can't change BlackTube with lecturing to people, talking down to people, passing judgment on people. Bro, it's not going to work. Stop it. You're here. Just join in on the fun. That's all I'm going to tell you. Either join in on the fun or just be quiet and put your own stuff up. Don't it sound like I'm saying what people used to tell me? Guess what? I hear you now. It only took 4 years. I pushed back against it because I kept, and the whole, with this nostalgia of things in the past. How can I preach to you about the laws of impermanence, but yet I want to hold on to a sector from 2019? Now, see, if one of y'all had said that to me, I would have been shut down immediately. That's playing chess. Bishop to queen 4, check. So that I'm saying, it's a way you can deal with people. If you deal with me intellectually, I can't argue against that. If you say that, because basically, so then the question is, what was I talking about all this impermanent stuff? That's how I really feel. I truly believe that. But if that's what I truly feel and that's what I truly believe, then let it be my words. Let me talk about that when I come on here, and then accept the fact that I can do the other stuff too with everybody else. So anyway, I'm sorry, why isn't this chat part scrolling? I'm going to give her all the business. Ain't nobody here. I went out. Okay, that's some side conversations I don't understand. Professor Cupcake, welcome. Oh yeah, I saw a Cupcake on the live last night. I bet you didn't know they was talking about me, Cupcake, huh? It was me. It was me, Facts Joe. All right, let's catch up on some comments. Because as boring people, we don't get people on the panel. It's all good, though. I still got love for all of y'all. Josephine in the chat, the only kids got laughed for being bad dancers were the kids brave enough to get on the floor. There's always that two-step. I'm telling you, I was a super B-boy. I did everything. I was a DJ, a rapper. I wrote graffiti. I did it all. I had the gear, but I could not do that breakdancing and all that part. That's where I got off. I was still a Renaissance hip-hopper, though. That's why I still do what I do. I love the old school stuff when y'all play it. Man, it just brings a tear to my eye. Oh, Pills being a comedian. That would be funny. Yeah, I think he could do it. It's not an easy gig. As we saw when I can't remember his name, Hoodie, when he went up. First of all, respect due to anybody that's brave enough to get on the stage. That is not easy. With the notepad and all, that was wow. You know what I mean? But I understand he was testing it out. Once he commits his act to memory and he hits a few more stages and fine tune it, because man, it's an art, it's a craft to that. I can't do it. I can do some one-liners, but getting up on stage, as much as I look at it, I got respect due. Divine, I'm lost. Doesn't sound good, though. Oh, and by the way, y'all, if I drop a link, again, I don't have any rules. I just don't. Only thing we don't do around here is we don't do the yelling back and forth. The two enemies that meet up on the panel, we don't do that. But, I'm open. I'm not with all the you can't say a name. People ask me, can we curse? Like, bruh, if that's what comes out, that's what comes out. I've heard curse words before. Pull up, nobody's going there, just let me know. Man, I'm all behind the chat. I need a producer. Would have loved to hear how he spun himself into victimhood. Yo, I'm so behind on y'all chat. It's pretty damn interesting. Do you know? Funny, we used to have a war against the chat. JJ, chat lives. Didn't you play that when the good guys was against the chat? Yo, what makes a show live or lit, as y'all say? Believe it or not, I would say 60% of it is the chat. If you ever look at the show, the content creator is one thing, but the chat, the people, it's like 4 storylines going, in your chat. That's what's up. That's people that coming in. Yeah, they like your voice, but they okay, Joe, I think he can. You notice his skills peak. He is stuck doing the same edits in iMovie. He is lazy and doesn't grow, doesn't learn new things about his craft. I don't know who you talking about on that one. See, and I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. The reason why, you asked a question, why are you doing all those songs and all that stuff? And it's just to sharpen my skills. Like, I'm trying to figure out vocal arrangements. So I was like, I need a complex vocal arrangement to try. I need to figure out how to. I actually went back with that bridge song, and actually, believe it or not, I actually remixed it a little bit. I made it sound better. So that's what it's all about, challenging yourself. Yeah, but see, the thing is, if you're here, you got to step your game up. Like, you ever notice when I say boring, not only is my dialogue boring, but you ever notice my graphics are like kind of like bullshit? Like, I don't have all of the backgrounds and all. And I'm not gonna lie, part of it is there's not a lot of time. I just ain't took the time to research to do it. And I understand some people have a show, they like that because it gives you something. I find it to be a bit of a distraction to a degree. Some graphics, I like simple stuff. Not a lot of movement, just like, hey, it's a cute, cool little picture I can look at. I appreciate your perspective, Doc. And I appreciate you and them cheese grits. So QT can burn, y'all. I'm pretty sure he's stuck using iMovie. He doesn't even use all the functions. Y'all having a whole convo. Oh, he suffers from plagiaritis. I'm done. Is that a word? It's a word now. Double score point. Sound effects. Man, I think my computer has to be at least 4 terabytes. It is literally full. I need a new music machine. I could pull up like 1,000,000 sound effects. I'm not into all of that. I just like to hear the voice. I don't even like the music in the background anymore. Hoodie just dropped the fat jokes, the B word, and the N word. Oh, I'm way behind, huh? Oh, y'all, let me catch up on these comments. I feel like I got to keep talking, but let me catch up on the comments. Hoodie's act will work out. He can edit images, but he can't create them. That's why he leeches off people who can make images like you, JJ, Mikey. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's why TC low-key hating, because I played his old live. Man, you have an archive that's out this world. I know I got a folder on your computer. He is too lazy to find images. He found gifts and stuff, but he has the same old stuff from 2021. See, the thing is, if you pay money, like I have services that I don't even use. I was using a lot of the B-roll. I pay a couple $100 a year just to have access. That thing got music, photos, graphics, stuff you can download, own, keep, licensing to the music and things you use. A person could really, really take it into the stratosphere. I ain't gonna lie, and it's not a dig. If I didn't have to work every day, oh my Lord, yo, I would have a live show 3 or 4 times a week. I would have like uploads, like, man, matter of fact, I always wanted to do like a news channel, sort of. Like, I'm giving my perspective on news events. But see, the problem with news channels is the news is always fresh and you got to keep dropping. And for me, that's hard to do in the day. I would say to anybody, when you're producing content, take the lowest level of quality right above the threshold of being garbage and produce as many videos as you can do at that level of quality. Because see, my problem, when I used to do uploads where I'm sitting there at the desk and I'm talking, it would take me 4 or 5 hours because I'm like, I got to have all the lighting in here right. Like, it's a lot in production. And to do a news show, you got to literally be putting the stuff out as it drops. I would love to do that, though, to kind of do because we don't have fair and balanced reporting anymore. I would love to do news stuff. So I'm still catching up on comments. JJ never thought I'd see the day Poetic Flacco would use and lend in video to his commentary. And Flacco is the example of that. He did so many uploads to where he penetrated the algorithm. And if you thought the word pause in your mind when you heard me say that, yo, knock the bullshit off. All that shit pause. For what? You know what I mean? You're a man, you know you're a man. You don't need the word. I left a comment for Flacco. He's on Dangerous Ground Center Atlanta, only been doing Umar videos for 3 years. Oh, that's funny. Man, I just saw an Umar video yesterday where he was talking about this woman and her drawers and Jesus Lord, what happened? Like, God damn. You know, I hear that and hold on, I'm gonna say something about that. I remember when everyone could use whatever they wanted from channel. That's all bad if those are still being used in the 25. Okay, so it says he got Al-Lanier's disease. Oh, I'm wondering what that noise is. I said, damn it, somebody running my washing machine. A brother of a certain age. If I call you a brother of another color one more time, I don't know why I keep saying that backwards.
What's good? What's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hear you. I hear you with that barbecue chicken
Yo, it's
and
slapping
that
too.
mac and cheese.
Thank you. You took the chicken.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what's
Yeah,
good,
see if you
good
was
brother?
man, nothing, man. I'm just keeping this boring network alive. I'm keeping the boring network going. We gotta stick together. We all we got, man. CMB.
I figured I'd come and empty the chat. You know what I'm saying? Be
Yeah,
extra boring and you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no doubt. Shit. Man, shit, if we can get Chat Lives Matter up here, we could probably crash the whole sector. Where to be offline for 4 days. They be like, YouTube be like, yo, due to our policies on that boring bullshit, you can't upload
Mm,
for 4 days.
he ain't coming up. He ain't coming up.
Nah. It's all good though. It's all good. There's we was up to like 25, 26 people, which is I was listening in the beef sector and I heard them saying, I didn't go live over top of you. You went live over top of me. And then I saw you first and I announced my live. And I'm like, yo, y'all really
Listen, man,
can't go live at the same time.
it's a system over there. So
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So basically, you know what though? We talked about doing that around here. We was talking about having I forgot who it was. It was a couple. It was a couple that proposed it. They said, look, we can get everybody organized. It'd be one channel. We all take time slots and we could have like a little network. And then somebody said, well, but you'll be collecting the monetization though. So how are we supposed to get paid?
yeah,
But technically speaking, if we had something like that where you could do that if you had like let's say 40 people, excuse me, 40 people with channels, you could literally like or 30 or 20, you could have like little time slots around the clock. Everybody, whatever, and you would have like a little sector network going where like, oh, his show is on tonight or that person's on this time of day. You could organize. It would take some doing, but but first of all, you got to have the content. The problem is, I'm sorry, y'all, I got to say it. The problem is that if we're all reviewing the same event, then it's kind of redundant.
yeah.
So
You
you would
gotta
have to have,
you
So
gotta have something unique. But so I had suggested it wasn't my idea. I saw it in a different sector where they actually had like a TV guide where they actually so you knew there was a schedule and you knew who was going live. It would be on like like on whoever's wall. Go to YM's wall if you want to know who's on today, and it would be who's at one, who's at three, whatever the case is. I saw that. I thought that would have been a good idea, but that I said that a couple of years ago, so it definitely was getting drowned out a couple of years ago. It was, yeah. I don't even think anybody commented on it, so I was like, I guess not.
I mean, it's kind of like we're in a bit of a groove. We're used to what we already have. Now we do have some structure. Like there was a time when there was a Friday night show. There was a Friday afternoon with Slander. There was a show. There was a couple of things in place, but and then there was a Monday thing. They had going.
Hmm.
You and I and others, we talked about having some boring stuff going on with us doing like a once every bi-monthly thing or something like that, perhaps.
Yeah.
But it's a thought. I find, like I said, man, if I'm home and I have actually something to say, I'm gonna jump on like Sunday evening because JJ said, man, we all gotta commit the Boring Brother Network. We all gotta commit to doing the show like once a week or whatever, you know what I mean? So we can like just kind of balance things out, give people something to tune into. So here we are. And I was talking about I saw Umar on the rant talking about the woman bad. He was talking about her bad and he said she went not and maybe y'all can clear it up for me in the chat. In the thing he said, Dr. Umar said she was being interviewed by he said Reverend Bussy and then he said Rainbow and then he said he lived in Utah. What is he talking about? Can somebody clear that up in the chat?
Yeah, that
Was he talking about Lennon?
he
Because
must be.
Lennon's in Utah.
He must.
Yeah.
He must be talking about Lennon.
So he's talking about suing him for defamation, and he said I gotta get a lawyer in Utah, and I'm gonna have to go down there a couple times. That's why I'm having a legal defense fund, bro. Please, not another fund, man. Just post up down there in a Motel 6 for a couple weeks and get your case going. But you know what though? It says something. That says something to me though, with the whole um oh, he said he gonna sue him too, and the lawyer said he can sue him for the money that he's made off his name. Bro, I don't understand why he didn't have a YouTube channel like 10 years ago and have like be able to strike people from YouTube and make money off of his own name. He would have made a gold mine with a channel on here. But the whole thing of you saw the woman, you say she lied, that's my whole thing. Like, and then you're calling her names and saying the way he described it, it was like, Jesus Lord. I was like, bruh, you would have smelled that probably through the pants, the way he was describing it. But, bro, I say have at it. I say, hey, look, I feel like this, right? I feel like it's free speech. Anybody come on here, do whatever content you want. But if a fool sitting there making money off of you, dragging you every day, man, shit, nah, you got to pay me. So yeah, definitely shut that. I'd be like, first of all, I'd reach out to him, hey, bro, I'm gonna need like $1,000 a month for you doing that content. Now get out my face. It's my microphone. All right, no problem. Then the lawyer gotta come see you. You know. But if you now saying the final straw is because some girl went on there and told lies, that kind of make you look a little guilty. Like I'm responding because this chick embarrassed me versus I'm responding because this wrong for this guy to make money. If you was gonna shut it down, then you should have been shut it down. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I think if it's something that may be affecting his bottom line, maybe he'll pay attention to it. But as long as he was able to just keep doing what he's doing and not really be interrupted, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he really cared, or he might not. Like, you think he got he got the acumen to do that, or he even cares about like creating a page and monitor? Because I think if he doesn't have something that's monetized, I think if he knew exactly how to do it, and he's a money guy, I don't see why he's accepting money anyway. I don't see why he wouldn't monetize his own YouTube page and make money off of it. So I don't know if he's
I
paying
would.
attention like that.
Yeah, I would. Instead of complaining about everybody else doing it, and getting money, you should be making your own money. I think it's more so the embarrassment. I would say to him, bro, if this is a scandal and they're trying to put you in a scandal will make you more successful. I mean, in our community, we got preachers, teachers, people get caught up in scandals every day, especially in the church. And they'll take a pastor back like, yeah, he messed up, but he said he's sorry. So I don't think this is gonna affect his whole school project, but I could understand as men, we don't never want a woman talking about us. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's so. For me personally, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, whatever. She said this, oh well. But some of us, we gotta respond. So he decided to respond in the way, I'll take a lie detector. I do this. I saw that video. I was like, is this something old? Because I don't really follow him. It popped up on King Kong's thing. So it was just interesting to see, yeah, we're in another scandal. And I would say this to the people that want to pass judgment on the man for what he did. I'm like, look, he a single man. He can be with women. He don't have to be righteous and all this other stuff. He can kind of do his own thing. So as a single man. But I would say, me personally, I would say this to somebody: if you're gonna head up a project like that, what you would want to do, you might want to have a steady girlfriend, a fiance, or a wife, because it keeps you out of the scandal, the spotlight. You know what I mean? Because all it takes is one woman tell you, man, I need you to fly out here and see me, and you like, I can't make it, I gotta go to Houston, and all of a sudden she get mad, and next thing you know, she dragging your ass all up and down social media. So the more stability you have, the better. I would say with that. But I don't hear anybody talking about it, so he don't seem to be the topic of discussion as much no more.
Yeah, I think
You know,
as a group we kind of moved on from that a
yeah,
long
yeah.
time
This
ago.
this ain't even the Umar sector no more, really. So we just
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah. I don't hear Lennon. I don't know nothing. I, man. Look, y'all. This the judgment part I do have, man. I don't get it. Ain't nobody gonna make me that mad where I'm gonna sit there and give you my hard-earned money because I'm hating somebody I don't know. But I ain't gonna lie, it's a tool, man. It works. I said earlier, I said, shit, if I was to come on here and use some of the tactics that people use, I'd be getting paid. But I'm just not made like that. I can't do it. I can't be this deceptive.
Yeah, I was over there heavily when I first kind of got used to YouTube. So I definitely enjoyed myself over there. But like, as I got to listening to other people and just, more of my interest, my actual interest started to, peak, and I would, use YouTube because I got on YouTube looking at like inspirational stuff and squirrels on skis and you know what I'm saying, like cute animal stuff. I got on. I didn't look at it as like a content space. I just looked at it as something where you watch videos. I didn't even know you could participate in it initially when I got on, and then when I saw that, I gravitated over there. I was in like the Sanetas and all that. That morphed
Yeah,
into coming over here
me too.
and then like when I first got here, it was like, okay, the first few content creators that I subscribed to was like, okay, don't go over here. So I didn't go over here, and I stayed over here. Then I found I was getting half of the story now, and I was fully. I'm not even gonna lie. I was fully invested in all the fucking storylines, all of it. Excuse my language, but
You can cuss.
okay, I look, man,
I said that like 30 minutes ago. I said, man, y'all ain't gotta be Puritans when you come up here.
I don't know. You might have said you said you got all those sound effects. You might have hit a sound effect and threw me off the stage. So
Nah, shit. Go ahead. Go for
nah,
it.
but yeah, I was fully, and then I started to like, like I'm getting half of these stories. So now, because I'm in these chats commenting and giving my opinion on stuff, and I didn't know other halves of the story. So that's why I kind of fell back. I think a lot of people fell back after they started hearing both sides of some of these storylines or whatever narratives, and it was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit in the chat and joke around and do what I do on my channel myself. And you can't even that though. You get the same person you was talking about. Funny video by the way, and
Yeah.
including the visuals. And because I know that I get shots thrown at me for what I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He be tearing into you. I never knew why. Oh, I
I
know
know
why.
why.
I
Yeah, I
know
know.
why.
Yeah, I know
I know
why.
why. Because the girl was talking about your beard and how soft it is. She gave you
Yeah,
some attention.
yeah,
So because it was her, it's like, oh, enemy, enemy,
yeah,
enemy,
yeah,
alert, alert, alert. I'm just
yeah,
like, Jesus Christ, bro, you so transparent.
yeah.
Like,
So I know why, but I just and I actually think he's funny. So I'm just gonna laugh at it. If
he's
some if funny is funny, and some of the shit is a lot of it
yeah.
is goofy, but I think he's funny. So it is what it is,
Yeah,
man.
he said, "Man, why he ain't come to me? We could have did a panel. We could have did something. We could have built something." Bro, you not here to build. You here to put on the show, the minstrel
Yeah,
show,
yeah, he had to do it.
and buck dance.
Yeah,
You're not here for no serious conversation. And we gonna sit down and put this presentation out. You
yeah, and
know, you
because
if I
yeah,
if I come over there to do that, next thing you know, somebody going sidebar me and start cussing me out, and I'm gonna be all kind of bitch ass niggas, and
it's gonna
then
be
it's
him.
gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be, and then I'm gonna get cussed out, then I'm gonna get kicked off the panel. Come on, bro, I'm not nobody doing all that.
It's gonna be him. He did mid serious conversation with you. He gonna throw a shot.
And kick
Yeah,
rocks.
yeah.
It's like, and I
Get
get
you up,
thrown off. Kick rocks. Fuck
get
out
you
of
up
here.
out of there. get you
I want to
up
hear
out
that
of it.
shitty ass commentary. Like, Pentis, I don't have no time. I don't have time. I don't have time for that. There's
Yeah,
never no time. 10
yeah.
hours, no time though.
Because
So
in reality, like I've spoken to you, like when we did a show and when we cut the recording off and we were just talking behind the scenes. If we wanted to do a financial show, I know, you know what I'm saying, we could do that. If he's really interested in that, we could come right over here because you got a financial background. I know, you know, if it's stocks, like I got two family members of mine who actually do have pretty successful stock market channels. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if he really wanted to do that, it's possible to do it. But, you know, I don't, like you said, I don't think he, you know, I don't think he wants to do that.
no, not really. You know, at that subject, man, you could if you did a series about finance, man, that could be like a 20 episode part like series. You know, you could come on and do different topics. That's something somebody could do
Yeah.
if they really wanted to get into it. I don't. I'm not a big fan of. I don't like when people try to pass it off like it's just some magical, like a quick money making scheme. You know, I think you should educate people on the different aspects of it. That's what I do all day. Because trust me, I get people. They call in and say, "What do you think about gold?" And I'm just like, "Sir, can we please take a step back?" Like they want to jump right into the what about this? And I'm like, no, let's figure out how this thing works first before, and then we can go into it. You know, Chat Lives made a point. There are financial sectors already.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm in one, in a particular sector. And actually, I see like Portola. I don't know if y'all know who Portola is. I see Portola that be in some of these chats. I see
Yeah, hmm
that person over there. So yeah, I'm in. I know where to go, and I know, you know, my lane is real estate. So I mean, I could do shows on that. I probably will because you know my channel is a mishmash of what comes to mind and what I think is interesting. So I can still do it. But I mean, if we really wanted to do something like that, there's enough people here who have things and who can tell you how to get things, even if it's something as simple as filling out an application for filling out something for a loan that you can talk to you can talk to that about what you need in order, as far as if it's a credit score, if it's you know, how long you need to be at your current job, or you know, whatever the case is. Like there are things that you can add to the conversation that, again, like I said, if people want to do it, and I still, like I said, I still may do it. I'm cool with just doing throwing shit against the wall. So I ain't you know, I don't have no problem with that. Oh, they got mad at Porto about
for giving valid information. See, folks, I I could do a whole show on like how to filter BS when it comes to that stuff. And the funny thing is, I talked about that before. How to recognize grifters. First of all, one of the key signs is this, and no shade to my brothers stuck in the system. Ex-convict, bro, I'm gonna need 3 forms of ID. 3, not the new, not the usual driver's license and your social. I'm gonna need the driver's license, the passport, and the social. 2 of them gotta have photos and a proof of residency. Now I say that not at a dig. Again, it's brothers in prison. But what I'm saying is, when you get out of prison, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. It's not prejudice. It's just I need to know. Well, what was you in there for? Well, I was in like that one dude that came around, Fred or whatever. Oh, I was in there for financial, you know, criminal activity. Okay, well, goddamn it, I don't hear nothing you got to say.
yeah,
You went to jail for the very thing you trying to tell. Now, if you say, well, why was you in jail? Well, I was in jail for tax evasion. I'm a side eye you because I'm like, so you're not good with money. If you say I went to jail because it was domestic abuse, me and my wife, we was fighting, she fell. All right, well, tell me, okay, I got a degree in economics while I was in prison. Okay, let's sit down and talk. All right, let's talk. Now, number 2, the person has changed their name 3 or 4 times throughout the course of their life. Like You see them in one gig 1 minute, then they got a different name, they over here, then all of a sudden they're a Muslim and some kind of spiritual cult, then all of a sudden they switch. If the person got on sunglasses and it ain't no sun in here, I know that sounds silly, y'all, but I'm serious. It's something about them not wanting you to look into their eyes, and because they're afraid you're gonna see the truth. You know what I'm saying? So these are like little things I notice when I see these grifters. Oh, they have no education, especially on the topic that they propose to be professionals in. They don't have education in it. And when you look at their background, you'll see it. And they'll say things like, oh, you don't need that to know about this, and you don't need. Yo, those are the signs of a grifter. So I'm not really hearing you. Oh, and then they'll show you the trinkets. Here's this Bentley. Here's this large home, which, by the way, again, I'm going to need 4 pieces of ID. I need to see the title, and I need to see that house. I need to see the deed on that house. And I need to see your bank statements for the last 6 months to know you ain't like borrowed some money and did something. See, a person that's educating you don't need the trinkets. Cause that's how a lot of black people get caught up. They go, well, he driving a Bentley, so then it must be legit. No. Most of the financial advisors that I know and work with, and being one of them, man, the flashy cars, you might catch one of them one time. This little Audi is Porsche or something, this little BMW 3 Series, but you don't flash money to show success. In finance, they will show you their records and say, these are the successes I had as with clients. These are references that I have, not you showing me your BMW and you sitting there with your dark sunglasses on and your ass just fresh out of jail. Nah, bro. You don't need all the fluff and flair if you're going to give somebody some information. And then 2, like I said, they should start with the basics. And by the way, all of us in the business, we all don't have degrees in economics. Some of our licenses are different licenses. Certain ones I didn't get because I didn't need it. Some people will just have different other credentials or what have you. But y'all know me when I talk about it. I talk about the basics, like the savings accounts, the budgets, because without that, nothing's gonna work. I ain't gonna get into that tonight, but I'm just saying, when y'all had these people pop up talking about, ooh, look at me, and I'm doing this, but they can't tell you how. That sounds like, that remind me of? That remind me of those people that say, you can get rich quick. Just come to my seminar for $299.95. I will teach you how to get rich. Yeah, and I got 2,000 of y'all in the room. That's how you get rich. Have a bullshit seminar, charge $300 and get a bunch of people to come.
Absolutely.
That's how you get rich.
And I don't have any like formal education on like real estate or anything like that. What happened with me was I took this, it was like in 2002, 2003, somewhere around there. Fannie Mae and the Urban League was having this financial literacy course and a real estate thing where you went there. It was like 4 weeks, and you got in there. You got to chop it up with lawyers, financial advisors. And you bought your finances and all your shit, and they looked over it and they told you what you qualify for and what you need to do, and they taught you how to, a little bit about money. So I didn't go to school for it per se, but it was like a 4-week thing where you got a certificate and then you bought that to the bank. But like you said, you're going to need certain things. And even now, so I have like a regular lender and a hard money lender. There's a portal that I have to continue to put I have to keep uploading my financials, my pay stubs, because they want to see like every month you have to keep uploading because they want to see current, financial things like that. So it's not just like you talking about. First, you got to provide it, but as you develop relationships with these companies, you still got to keep on providing those things because they still want to. They about to invest in you. They about to give you a bunch of money. You want to make sure you can pay it back. That's the main thing. How you gonna pay it back? And that's what you're speaking of. Like when you want to see people's financial situation, it's not to be nosy, and it's not to. It's like, okay, how you gonna pay this money back? Because it's there to get lended to you now. I must admit I stepped out this last year or two because the interest rates have been crazy, and the people are way overvaluing their houses right now because the market is crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Like if I file bankruptcy, I got to report that,
Right.
and then it's going to be a whole lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
I did a questionnaire the other day. It was like 150 questions. Like I have to recertify. One of the questions they said, "Are you the beneficiary on any account from your client, family member? Have you been added to your knowledge?" Like you got to it's an attestation. I got to say, have you been in a criminal trial? Have you been this? Have you? It's like, man, I hate when I have to do that every year. But anyway, anyway, hold up. I'm sorry. I was looking at what the folks were saying. If there are multiple people in the sector that say you scammed them for some money, why would anybody trust you with their money? It, point, point, point. Yes, if you owe somebody money, like with day traders, where I'm at, again, you can use margin credit or brokerage credit to buy and sell. But, that's going to come with the credit check, and you got to have a certain net worth. Otherwise, no, we're not going to let you spend $100,000 of brokerage credit buying something, then you lose the money and we can't collect. But no, I've seen, like I say, in this particular space, there's, I've been ripped off, burnt out of money for no goddamn good reason. That these individuals have burnt people out of money. They've proven, a lot of folks around here have proven that they cannot be trusted. They're not money people. They don't understand how it works. And I would say, if you owe me money, I would say, and you claim that, I hear a lot of people like to talk about karma and these African spirits and all this bad stuff that can happen and the order of the universe, but yet you'll leave a debt hanging out there. I would say this to you. If you owe me, I feel more sorry for you than the other way around, because the energy that you're creating by doing that is going to be like, you're going to have a greater lack of success. I'm not saying it's karma. Well, number one, it's just a bad business practice. Nobody's going to deal with you or trust you, with their money. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't worry about it. I just build a better mousetrap. I go, okay, going forward, we don't have lines of credit. When you're dealing with me, I'm like, I'm going to need mine,
Right.
COB,
Yeah.
COD. So that's how it is. So yeah, in this space, there's a lot of money talk in this space, but let's keep it 100. We all got bills, we got stuff. I could go put my hands on some money, but man, it's a difference. When, like, matter of fact, me and my family members, we was having a discussion of it. They said, well, Jay-Z is a billionaire. I said, really? I said, a billionaire liquid? Like, he can go produce $1 billion in cash? What are we talking here? I said, I need to see the books, and that's not no hate. That's not shade. That's just, it's a difference between, where your money is. Is this potential earnings? Is this property? Is this things that you share? Is this a shared interest in a business, that can become non-profitable? I mean, become unprofitable in the next 6 months? Like, it's levels to that. But to me, I don't find the fascination in it. How I truly feel about money is this: more money can make your life easier when it comes to bills and things, but that's about it. It's not really, if I had everything I want in this world, I'm suddenly, oh my God, I'm out here buying the cars, the jewelry, going crazy. I know where that leads. And I don't find, me personally, I don't have a need for it. Like, what I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna go get that Ferrari and I'm gonna show y'all me driving it around so y'all can suddenly be impressed. But it's funny though. People, black people especially, will tune in to listen to a grifter faster than they, like, somebody out there talking about, I can show you how to flip houses. You only need $1,000 to start with. They will listen to that person faster. They will listen to you with certifications, saying, "Yo, flipping houses ain't nah, bro. Let me explain to you. Oh no, I want to hear you, bro. I want to hear what he's saying because I'm got to get my taxes back." They would listen to the grifter, the ex-con with the sunglasses on, the 4 name changes, with no education, more than they'll listen to you with a license. And I always tell people, when they start showing you money, they say, well, let me show you what I'm working with. Bro, I don't care about your materials. I need to see your bank statements. I don't give a damn what you got on that screen. I want to see the flow of your money. Like, show me what month to month what you're doing.
Right.
I don't want to see, I don't give a damn about your 15-year-old BMW. I don't mean a damn thing. That does not denote success. You're good at what you're doing. Sometimes, man, we got to throw it back. I had a guy the other day said, "Well, I got this investment right, man." He's like, "Well, go back 10 years." I said, "God damn it." He's like, "Look at the performance, blah, 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 blah." He ran it down. He said, But you telling me this portfolio over here, you're going to build, I'm looking at 8.5%, man. Guess what? I said, "Sir, you know what? I can't help you with that, but I can do this. Let's talk about this other money in your brokerage account." The reason why, where he was in his employer plan, it was performant. Now, granted, I did say today's performance, yesterday's performance is not tomorrow's performance, but by law, it wasn't. We have a certain standard we got to follow. I cannot talk him out of that one account because from where I was standing, I said, "Damn, you right. Like it's magical. It's working." So by law, I can't talk you, especially with employer plans. They're tricky. You can't. It's certain guidelines with those. They're very hands off. So I'm like, "Nah, bro, you doing 18%, rock out." Now if this man starts throwing around these tariffs and that thing starts to crash, and he calls me on the phone and say, "Please help me, I'll take that 8.5% that you said over here," then guess what? We can do it then. I got to document that though, because a lot of times they'll tap me on the shoulder and say, "Well, why did you put the notes on this one account that said this? You wasn't doing this, but then now 3 weeks later you doing that." Man, sometimes it's more of a pain in the ass with the documenting. Everything has to line up, especially when your company is a fiduciary. But anyway, um, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep with this chat too.
No, you
I
good, bro.
support a full-time more than anybody in the sector. He knows it, but I can't stand somebody just hating on everybody else for no reason. See, switching gears to that, Mikey, I'm going. Oh, and by the way, QT, I did hear what you said about musicals. I love musicals. Matter of fact, that gave me an idea. Maybe something will pop up. Not bad. So yeah, see, the thing is, I want to ask the brother, why the hate though? Why? What is it that you call yourself doing if you're sitting in the middle and your commentary is negative about everybody else? Matter of fact, I heard Cupcake ask the question. She said, "Well, which artists do you like? What music do you like?" Like as if to say, you sound like you hate everything. What do you like? That's where I'm from, man. I'm from Missouri. I believe in show me, show me. That's show me state. So I'm like, produce some shit. Like I've had stuff that was hated on. All my stuff is not good. Some of it's bullshit, some of it's not as good, some of it's weak. I understand that, but I mean, I got people that's critiquing and throwing daggers. I mean, like hating to the nth degree, but don't produce shit. That's what all I kept saying was, "Man, shit, show me how to do it. Show me
Yeah.
how to get down."
Well,
Sitting there talking about,
and I was gonna say the problem with showing is it's gonna be boring. You know what I'm saying? And if you thrive on, you know, dynamic, you thrive on insulting or making people laugh, like financial. The financial, it's. I mean, there's people making money, but it's really boring. Like you just said, you gotta fill out 150 questions. Like nobody don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give up all your financials and get questioned about this, and you know, so it's boring. That's what it is. But if you're really gonna teach somebody, there's a way you can make it fun. You can make it interactive. But hating and making fun of people is a lot easier for certain people.
I always look at it, and speaking on that, I always look at it where they coming from. You know, there are people on here that can talk about other people, and it could be, "Hey, you said something to me, I'm responding to you, and I'm roasting you while I'm doing it." And then there are some that are just what I call lames, where it's like nobody's even talking about them, but their whole commentary is how effed up somebody is. You know, how can you you can't really talk about somebody's marriage if you know what I mean, you've never had a serious relationship. And if you had a serious relationship, now you can offer your opinion, you're entitled to that. But to sit there as a man and hate on another man and then say, "Well, the other man was looking at you, he must have wanted you." See that type of shit right there? I'm sorry, man. I guess it's just a man in me, and I know I'm old school, it's the man in me that I be feeling like them's is fighting words. Like you sitting there calling another man, you putting him in a social subgroup because you think it's cute to have commentary, and all of y'all watch somebody get their goddamn head blown off a few weeks ago. See, the thing is, it's all fun and games till they show up. Like I was watching Bosco, and the dude pulled up on him, the guy that played in all the gangster movies that played Stacy, and he said, man, or some other dude pulled up. I'm sorry, my memory is horrible. And he said, man, I'm just a content creator, man. That's just for content. See, it's all some people ain't playing. You understand what I'm saying? Some people are unstable. It was all content to them people brains was put on the sidewalk. Then that ain't content no more. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was talking about that. So when you sit around here acting like you trolling, yo, you not trolling. You are angry, bitter ass person. Everything out your mouth is hating on what somebody else doing, and we supposed to pretend we ain't seeing that. The only reason why it works is because if I let's say I take Darrell, and I start hating on Darrell for no reason, just going at his head for no reason, I'm gonna have 30 people that hate him sitting here listening. I could be completely wrong. I could be weak as shit as a man, attacking him for no reason, but because people will support that with cash, these individuals will do it. I always look at who's doing it and why. So if everything out your mouth is how everybody is so terrible, then I gotta look at you like, yo, I see something in you. It's a weakness. It's not trolling. And trolls don't cry, and trolls don't scream at the top of their lungs. Now, it was something, and when I said the man in me, the other day I made a comment in Slanders. I said, I couldn't take that much money from a woman. And Carrie said, hey, I'm a feminist, I don't see it like that, yada, yada, yada. And I respected that. You know what I'm saying? She said, man, I honor my word. If I make a bet, I honor that. You know what I'm saying? So I had a respect for her for that, because she said, I stand on principle. In other words, she wouldn't say something she wouldn't do, like make a bet and then welch on it. So I respect her for that. But on the flip side, as a man, I've always had this leeriness about taking stuff from women. And the biggest thing, one reason is I don't believe in a woman supporting me unless you my wife. That's one. And two, I'm not gonna take nothing from a single mom. It's a lot of bums out here that'll do that shit. They grift. They seek out women to use and abuse. That happen every day of the week. You know what I mean? And as a man, as part of my code, I can't take that. One reason that I didn't do it when I was young is because I hate that whole I want my stuff back. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be taking off a pair of Jordans in the middle of this parking lot because this heifer decide she don't want to be with me. You know what I'm saying? But as a man, and I respect the sister for how she feels with her honoring her word. But as a man, something would prevent me from doing that. Like, I would be like, I got to give you this back. No, you want it fair and square. Okay, I accept that. So can I make a charitable donation to you then? You know what I'm saying? Because I can't in good mind keep this much. Or compromise. I keep 50, you get the rest back. You know what I mean? I don't mind the cash app, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? So, again, everybody out here got bills and all that. I ain't going to take your money. I look at it like this, man. You can put that on a bill. I don't need it. You know what I mean? So, that's just me. That's my principle. Now, the next man can do what he want to do. We know what it is. You on here every day. You obviously trying to get paid. Your Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, or your Cash App is your screen name. You on here for one reason. I said in the beginning, I respect that too. But me personally, I got a certain code. And the code is, you can support me, but I don't need half your mortgage.
Right.
Even from a man, I would be leery. I'd be like, nah, what I gotta do for this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I want what you owe.
think
What you
I,
owe me.
I think if people find what you do, like I scrolled my Cash App one time. There was one time I did. I got Cash Apps. I was like, oh, I said I'm gonna put it up there and see what happens. And I don't think I said anything. I just scrolled it, and I got 2 Cash Apps that day. And then I got one because somebody has my Cash App. I sent them something on particular. I got a a Cash App from them. So I don't have. I'm not against it, and I would say that I've given out way more. Not even close way is the amount that I've given out. But it was more
Yeah,
like when we were stuck in the house and this was my entertainment. When this was my
yeah.
entertainment, and I was still working. I'm considered essential, so I still was working and grinding hours. So it wasn't, what I'm saying, it wasn't really like I was spending my what was the money they was sending people during the pandemic. But it
Yeah.
was, yeah, I wasn't spending my family money or whatever. I was a lot more generous early on because I found value in these shows got me through work at night. Like I was in it. So I don't have a problem with that. But I get it. Maybe if you do scroll it, you could just say like
Yeah.
if your bills is paid and everything's done and you want to send me a cash app, that could
I
be your
never.
disclaimer.
Yeah, I mean, normally I didn't do it tonight. I normally have the banner scrolling. Now respect due. I think for anybody first of all, I'm not against the whole Cash App thing at all. I think any content creator, if you're on here taking your time and people are enjoying your comment, then you getting a cup of coffee is a nice reward for that. You know what I mean? I'm not against that. I'm not against the people that come on here and do it for a living. Some of you are on here every day because this is what gets you paid. I'm not knocking it. Um, I personally don't really get cash apps like that. You know, um, I said to myself, I said, well, guess what? I said earlier, you could play the game and you can get paid. Or say something, do something that people enjoy. Say something that people want to hear. Now, my Cash App is on all my songs. It don't say Cash App on it because if you do that, that could be kind of a violation. You putting out copyrighted materials and you're soliciting,
Mm.
a payment. That could be deemed like that. So I don't write on there like, oh, hey, pay me for this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you laughed or you enjoyed it and you feel like, hey, bro, you know what? Go ahead and get that smoothie on me, then that's cool. But if I wanted to make this a business and really I would probably sit down and put it on paper first of what I was going to do and how I was going to approach this. I know in the past I've said things and ridiculed people for the grind, but like I said, that was in the past. And that's like I said, the beauty of the thing here today, you could change. You don't have to. People will try to keep you. Well, you did this 3 years ago. Guess what? That was 3 years ago. So we moving on. But
Right.
anyway, man, I done went. Woo, it's almost 2 hours. I can't believe I did this long.
Yeah,
But hey, it was cool.
I'm about to hop down. I gotta
Any
head to
last
work.
words?
Yeah, I was just
Cause I
gonna
got, I
say.
gotta.
So for somebody like you who obviously you take time and you put time into what you do. You don't just throw stuff out. So in that sense, I'm just want to encourage you to keep rolling your cash app. You know what I'm saying? You put in time and I know you do it for the love because I know you would do it for free because you do it for free. So we know that. But to get a nice little reward here and there for your time is okay. So keep on doing what you're doing. I love that last song. Like I said, including the visuals that really made it even more funny. Also, too, if you don't mind, just a little shameless plug. I did a question in Chat GBT, and I wanted to encourage everybody to go look at my latest post. It's a little bit wordy, but also if something that you might want to do, you don't have to share it with people. But if you do use AI for like research and stuff like that, ask that question. Like I said, it's on my community wall, and yeah, I think it'd be interesting what you find out about what AI thinks about you, especially if you're using these tools. So I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna hop down. I'm gonna head on to work, and appreciate you for having me up, bro.
Yeah, thank you for coming through, man. It helped out a lot. All right, bro. Peace. All right. Well, that was a brother of a certain age. And QT, I feel you right. No dude should be rolling up on you, asking you for money while you with your kid. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's us failing as a society. But anyway, man, yo, check it out. So said a lot. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I didn't scroll the marquee tonight. or whatever. You know, like I said, man, I like to do charity. I always tell people, because some people say, no, you don't have to do nothing for me. But I always feel like it's a two-way street. You know, you got to give the gifts, but you also got to allow other people to give too, so that the cycle is complete, you know. And with that, I thank you all for coming out to hang out with this boring presentation. And I leave you with words of peace and tranquility. Namaste.
Baltimore hip-hop is in a state of emergency. Originality and professionalism is on life support. In the court today, we have Dave the Barber presiding. It's time to take that ass to court.
Yeah. Dear Baltimore, I wanna talk to y'all. So I find myself writing this letter. I'm tired of us seeing us fighting each other when everyone else they be fighting together. They gave us the blueprint to get to the cheddar, but we just ignore them and think that we're better. And most of the fellas be hooked on that medicine, holding vendettas and busting berettas. And I can confess that I'm actually jealous when I see these other rappers getting paid when they don't even check with the B-move vernacular. We should get checked for us blessing the state. But how can we expect to be catching away? We can't even request for our records to play. Don't get no respect from that program director, cause we don't address them professionally. So we figure we do it the regular way and just take it straight to an executive face. They're making demands like we in command. That's why they be throwing our records away. We keep getting rejected consecutively, cause our ego too big and our chest in the way. And I'm just a messenger sending my blessing. I'm hoping this letter will better your day. Come on, dear Baltimore, we wonder why now we try and fuck with our town. That's right. When we don't even be embracing our own sound. We keep trying to make the dead make. Like we gon' be taking their place. Like we gon' be making their cake. I say dear Baltimore, come on. It's time for us to really start supporting our own. That's right. Make them respect the shit that we be doing at home. See strength come in numbers, and they ain't gon' fuck with none of us till we run them numbers up. They in Baltimore. I say it's time for us to start telling the truth to these artists. They dudes that be garbage and thinking they hard because your refusal to be brutally honest. If new dudes was audited like music was when we started it, you can truly get to see who the artist is. If he do what he do, let him prove he a part of this. And if he do, it's your duty to call it this. That's the beauty in all of this. You'll be reviewing the genre. These records are awful. Not to be rude or dishonest, but simply doing the honors of protecting the culture. Redirecting the author. Tell him to get up his bars and be less of a talker. Cause if he not a competitor, need to go get him a job in a regular office with a regular boss. Tell him get lost and just leave all the rap at the beat. Niggas ain't rappers, they should have been actors. They spelling off cat with a capital C. Tell him sit back in his seaters. Just tell him go home and come back with some heaters. Just leave it alone if you left it to me. I would tell him to never get back on the beat. Dear Baltimore, we wonder why now we try and fuck with our town. That's right. When we don't even be embracing our own sound. We keep trying to make the dead make. Like we gon' be taking their place. Like we gon' be making their cake. I say dear Baltimore, come on. It's time for us to really start supporting our own. That's right. Make them respect the shit that we be doing at home. See strength come in numbers, and they ain't gon' fuck with none of us till we run them numbers up. Dear Baltimore.